All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, Olga. Welcome back to Of the Devil. Last time, Morgan was taken to the office of a prestigious Yakuza family only to find that their boss was actually this sassy lost child who basically commissioned her to defend their noble guardsman who had been accused of a crime that Morgan committed herself, except there's one extra dude, and we don't know who killed him, and that extra dude happens to be a cop. So, let's see where this leads. Hey there, boss. Of course I'm fine. What did you think was going to happen? Is there no... What happened to the music? Are you guys getting music? I'm only getting sound effects. This is really weird. What the fuck? You don't hear music either? Hello, Ponge. Welcome to the stream. Let me restart the program. This is really weird. Huh. No, but usually music plays in that. Alright, that had sound. That was real. I guess this is a weird glitch. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't getting music on the title screen. Okay. Before too. Alright, here we go. Where's my load? Oh. There we go. That was really weird. Really weird shit happening. Never mind. Yeah, all good news. I've got quite the paycheck coming my way. Alright, so there is no music in this scene in particular. Maybe bad news for you if you get a large crowd tonight. Yes, tell Sarah to meet me at the police station. Address I'm about to send. Mm-hmm. I've got work for her to do. There will be quite the paycheck indeed waiting for me, assuming I can win. But can I afford to accept it? Ugh. Hey. Were any of those jokes around the office about your clients being connected to organized crime true? What? Is this some kind of honeypot? Trying to get a grasp on something. No, I know you're baiting me. Well, it's easy as that's what she said, layup. I'll still basket that shit though. I don't give a... Why do you make everything so hard? Come on. Like, come on, Freckles. Low-hanging fruit. I have no idea what you're talking about. Obviously. Why are you asking me about mafia shit, though? I'm working on a case for the Yakuza, whom I assume you've heard of. Definitely. Under circumstances that are probably vulgar. Absolutely. Which you'd be happy to brag about to me? Anytime. But I'm not well positioned to turn down the job outright. So I'd like to know whether they'll be resistant about parting ways afterwards. Why? Do you not like getting paid lots of money? I don't like being chained. Fair enough. So you like, just asking for my advice? The aura loss is incredible. Not going to attempt to parse that. I doubt you ever could. My generation's sense of humor is practically impregnable. It was a very basic non sequitur, Auntie. It just wasn't funny. Not even. A non sequitur would be, what's the charge? That is getting back on topic. The charge is homicide. 5 counts. Meh. You're probably fine. All the stuff you hear about mops is being clingy with their lawyers. It's because they don't want anyone who's been through their underwear drawers running around, telling tales. Whatever poor they pinned multiple homicides on. It's obviously not anyone important. I don't think he was framed. Not by his own people. Nah, pinned as in, stuck with. Like a chore. Powerful people, mob and no. If they get lawyers, it's for tax evasion and conspiracy charges. Dirty work's left to the pawns. And the whole point of a pawn is, you don't have to think twice about trading them off. Alright. Guess I know the rumors are true then. Yep, you uncovered my cool secret. Listen, actors, singers, celebs, they all like expensive things and me in the center of attention. Mobsters have money to burn and want the cologne of legitimacy. Everyone wants what they can't have. Okay, chill, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Right looking Gatsby ass. I still pine for thee, motherfucker. What? All I'm saying is that there's mutually beneficial arrangements to be made between the rich and famous and the rich and infamous. So you bet your ass I was in those rooms, negotiating appearance fees and taking my 30%. 30%? You really are shameless. That's what she said. All right. Thanks as always for the sage counsel. Hey, if you're really feeling grateful, do me a solid and call your rents. They said they never hear from you. Oh wow, her parents are still alive. And I know you can't be that busy. If you're bored enough to talk to me. They're the ones who are busy. Oh yeah, there's some terms that we should, Regen, global leader in pharmaceutical research. Company that puts your health before any other concern. Our groundbreaking research into combating modern medical challenges has helped millions of people live happily, healthy lives, and we're proud to keep fighting that goals. We pursue our corporate goals. Medicine in the cabinet of every home, improve patients' lives and their communities, minimize our environmental footprint through sustainable ventures, operate with dignity and pride in our ethics, deliver consistent, steady growth to our investors. Shortly after our founding, our researchers developed metformin, the first orally ingested treatment for type 2 abnormal diabetes, freeing millions of adolescents suffering from its effects being subject to painful injections. Oh, wow. Damn. Since then, we've gone to improve our formulation, and the constant dedication to perfecting our medicines have made us a national leader in pharmaceutical biosimilars. We're obsessed with perfection and driven by purpose. We'll never stop searching for the next step in the evolution of what it means to be healthy. Not interested in sponsor search results? See further with premium. God. And these are articles that we've already seen. Yep. There we go. Yeah, that's her name. Victoria Masters. Lawyer to the rich and famous, semi-retired. Likes waterfalls, manicures, macadamia nuts. Dislikes getting ghosted by my adorable goddaughter. Drink Cosmopolitan Devils. Look, SSR in the first pull. Damn! Wow, yeah, that's quite lucky for sure. Five 4 p.m. August 14th. Obviously, I wasn't sure what would happen after I left that crime scene. And I wasn't sure what I'd find walking in here to speak to my client. But I definitely wouldn't have bet that the next time I saw this man alive, he'd actually look worse. Did you not hear me? I said I'm your lawyer.
Oh, I heard you. I'm just not interested in wasting my breath responding.
I'm sorry, is there a misunderstanding here?
Not at all. I understand exactly what you are. You and all your fellow... Your companion is staring at me very intently.
Sarah, blink. You're embarrassing me in front of the Yakuza.
That's a very dated word.
You'd really prefer I call you an orca?
I'd prefer you give up and leave.
What are you talking...
I'm sure they've told you I've been softened up. They've broken me and I've been ready to sign whatever you put in front of me. Sorry to disappoint you, but the Hound of Icaria doesn't heal.
Cool. Sosuke, I'm going to repeat myself plainly and slowly because you clearly have multiple head injuries. I am not a lawyer, I am your lawyer.
Right, then. Very good. Thank you for coming. I apologize if I misspoke just now.
I'd misspeak too if I'd lost as much blood as you. Morgan, Esquire. I'll be representing you from here on out.
Sosuke, of House Icaria.
Sarah, paralegal and bartender.
You're very young to have 2 jobs or 10 bar.
Well, it is only part-time.
Right.
So tell us, Sosuke of House Icaria, what is your routine? You look very fit. Do you have a crush on him?
What? Are you asking about... Do you not have me on file? Sorry, which firm are you from? TDT? MPM?
I'm in private practice.
You mean you're not...
A mob lawyer? No, but please don't hold it against me. Everyone has to start the path to corruption somewhere.
There are serious risks involved in representing a man with my background against charges like these.
It's very sweet of you to...
They say I killed a cop, miss. I realize I may look a sorry state at the moment, but I've not fallen so low that I'd sully the house's name by dragging a civilian into...
Makoto thought differently.
The young master! You've seen him. How is he? Where is he? Is he unharmed?
He was sitting pretty atop a literal throne, surrounded by armed guards last time I checked.
Thank you for that. No one's told me anything, and I... If the young master has spoken on this matter, I won't go against his judgment. But I do hope you understand what you're getting into.
I'm already in it, Sosuke. How will I understand what I'm in? Here's something I think you'll be able to help with.
Very well. What do you want to know?
So far, all I know about you is your first and last name.
It's a very important last name. But I take your meaning. And in truth, the first thing you should know is that I'm not worthy of it.
Why? You disqualified due to pre-existing conditions?
I was born Sosuke Hayakawa, fourth son of a distant branch family. The only reason I would bear the name of Ikari is because I was adopted to the main house as an infant, in exchange for lifelong service to the main family.
Sounds like a great deal. Lifelong? How did you serve the Ikari family as an infant? There are various tax benefits if you have exactly 2 children.
Don't be absurd. I am what you would call a bodyguard. From the time I was able to walk, I was trained to be of service to the house by protecting the heir with my life.
From the time you were able to walk, there are a lot of demand for toddler bodyguards.
All that's ever been asked of me is that I stand in the right place at the right time.
You mean like in family photographs?
Like in front of a blade. Even a child can manage that. The house has given me everything I've ever had and taught me everything I've ever known. What meager service I can offer in return means nothing compared to the debt I owe them.
You view your relationship with your family as a transaction.
It is not something so cold, girl. It's a matter of loyalty.
Right. So if you were standing before a judge and they asked your name and occupation, you would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikaria, and I'm an eternal servant for a living."
I would say my name is Sosuke Ikaria and I work as a head of personnel security for the Ikaria Financial Group.
And what does that entail exactly?
I'm the young master's bodyguard, and I lead all his security teams.
Nice to properly meet you.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And I'm Sarah, paralegal and bartender, part-time.
Yes, I believe you already mentioned that.
It seemed like we were all doing it twice.
Well, thank you for your paralegal services, Sarah.
And here I had the impression you had no sense of humor.
What do you mean?
It seems in this particular instance, Adonai, it was you who misidentified his proper manners as being Glad we've all broken the ice. Makoto told me this all started because you were taken captive yesterday. What happened?
It was 2 p.m. The young master had just finished a meeting with a VIP in Crane Tower. Floor 108.
2 p.m.? He wasn't in school?
I'll ask that you refrain from mocking the young master in my presence. He is a child. Anyone can see that. But you have no idea the pressures that have been placed on him.
Whatever my client wants.
As I was saying, it was just after 2 p.m. Me and the rest of my team escorted him to the elevators along our planned exit route. But our lift stopped suddenly in between floors 61 and 62. That was when I made a mistake. I had a bad feeling. Thought it best to get Makoto to the ground floor ASAP. So I forced the elevator open, crawled down, and pulled him out after me. But just as he got out, the elevator started up again, separating us from the rest of the guard.
It was a trap! A 50-50 one. Staying wasn't safe either. If they could stop the elevator, it's not a stretch to think they could drop it, too. He just lost the coin flip when he decided to exit. Yeah. Oh.
Yes, Sarah, it was a trap. Floors 60 through 70 were undergoing heavy retrofitting. The other elevators weren't responding, comms were jammed. I had reviewed the entire building's blueprints beforehand. Not very useful information, obviously, for a floor undergoing renovations. But I knew that there was a construction elevator we could get to, on the other side of the tower. I had to act fast. There was no time to doubt myself, and I did something unforgivable.
You left the kid?
I picked him up over my shoulder.
Oh. Well, that sounds like fun.
House, forgive me. Everything the young master does for the sake of his name's dignity, and I...
Kids are tougher than you'd think. I think I'll get over it. So you escorted him to the service elevator. I take it that's when things...
Yes, I'm sorry. But I only remember a few vague details about what happened next. But I'll tell you what little I can. After I activated the lift, 2 assailants emerged from under a taped top doorway at my 7 o'clock. One tall, one thin. Tall was around 190 centimeters, and his weight, I'd say about 100 kilograms with the mods. Thin was maybe 175, but slouched. Modded as well, but what I saw looked stripped down, so it couldn't have been heavier than 70 kilo. They had needle guns, slow to fire and slow to take effect. A memorable choice. Taller one shot first, jerked his arm when he pulled the trigger. A bad habit, usually favored by street slinger punks who are used to compensating for the kickback of jailbroken zippers. He might as well have been aiming at the ceiling. Then lines up his shots properly. Laser sight dialed in on the young master's left trapezoid. I shift into a horse rider stance and deflect the needle with my weapon. The lift doors open behind me just as another shooter steps forward at my 3 o'clock. Or so I thought, but all they had was a laser pointer. Literally a cheap trick. But it worked. There a click from 8 o'clock, turn my neck, and feel a weight punch to my deltoid. A dullish kind of pain for an instant. I realize I'm already going numb. And that's when I squeeze.
Squeeze. He's talking about his mods.
That's how I've always described it. Others say they flex or pull or hold. I squeeze. A Kita Type 2 external thoracic booster. Some burst strength and pain-killing capabilities, but in short, it's a reflex enhancer. Make 1 second feel like 15 in hindsight. And make it feel like you ran a marathon during those 15 seconds once the kickback gets you. But I digress. I moved. Got Makoto into the elevator and wrenched the door shut myself. Taking 3 more needles to the back in the process. I remember saliva pulling on my lip and then cold concrete scratching my cheek.
All right, Sosuke. So you were guarding Makoto, those men laid a trap, targeted him with tranks, failed. Then they take you instead?
Yes, to my great shame.
You were outnumbered and ambushed, but you still managed to protect Makoto. What's there to be ashamed of?
That I didn't see it coming.
You are saying this has happened before?
Dozens of attempts in the past year. Some headed off in the early stages, some sidestepped entirely, and some stopped with force. I knew their tactics and I knew our vulnerabilities. Yet still I failed.
Sosuke, that is not incorrect. I deny. Am I wrong? Shouldn't a bodyguard get at least one shot off before being taken down?
Shot? What do you mean shot?
You were not carrying a firearm?
No. No one on the team had guns.
How's that?
None of us on the security team had firearms with us.
But you're a gangster.
I'm a head of personnel security for the Acadia Financial Group. Walking onto Allied Group's property and armed to the teeth insults their hospitality and makes the house look insecure, or worse, impotent.
And I'm not a security expert, but I do think there's some gray area between armed to the teeth and empty-handed. I mean, didn't you just say you deflected their attack?
I was not defenseless just because I wasn't carrying a gun.
Oh?
I had my sword.
So lame. So cool! Oh, it was the sword! Ah, that was the sword they had. You walk around town with, what? A samurai sword?
You just assume that it's a katana?
Is it?
Yes. It is a signifier of my position within the house, and shows that I am acting as a representative of it.
Is it ceremonial then?
No. It is quite sharp.
I can attest to that.
Though it's probably in terrible condition by now, seeing how the city's policemen handle everything else they touch.
Speaking of which, perhaps we should move on to the night's main events. They tried for Makoto, got you instead, and took you to the lower wards. Why? I've been wondering that myself. Aren't you essentially worthless? As a hostage, she means.
I know that. Thinking back, I was surprised myself to wake up at all, let alone in captivity. But it seems they have questions they want to ask me.
What do you remember?
Whatever they used on me, I can remember some things, but how much of it was real, what order it happened in, it's all...
Just say whatever comes to mind. It can be anything. Sights, smells, voices. There are no wrong answers.
I was bound. My wrists bound above my head. Tied to something that smelled like iron and rattled like old iron. Tiles beneath my feet. Some kind of bathroom or decontamination area.
Good guess.
They asked me questions. I said things. Loose lips like being drunk for the first time again. But I'm confident that other than vulgarities, it was all incoherent. Because there were shocks. The taste of blood. I must have bit my tongue during the spasms. And there were beatings, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed. Adonai, do you need corrective lenses? Sarcasm is just how I grieve a lost opportunity, Sarah. Lost opportunity? Yes, it's a damn shame. From what I can see of it, a pretty face like yours would go a long way with the jury if it wasn't pulverized.
Ridiculous.
Is he blushing? I agree about his face, Adonai, but I don't believe it is his only strong feat.
Let us move on.
Really? And in that case, how did your captivity end? Do you recall escaping?
I was blindfolded the entire time, but my ears weren't boxed so bad. There was a door that squeaked and whined. So I always knew when someone was coming or going. One voice asked questions, mostly. It was light. Another voice grunted when he hit me, heavy. Other voices came and went, and then eventually, there was talk. Through the door, I heard they're all talking to someone else.
A new voice. Was it high-pitched or low? Loud or soft? It doesn't matter. What's important is that it belonged to someone new. Someone besides you and the dead who was there that last night. Did you make out any part of their conversation?
No, not a word. But there was a loud noise. Gunshots followed by shouting and ugly sounds.
And then?
Hollow pain in my skull as I lost consciousness again. When I next came to, I had something in my hand. In my hands. Something sharp. I didn't even think to ask what it was or where it came from. I just started looking at the bindings, Rushed and clumsy, poked myself in the process. But I cut them loose, then took the gag out. The blindfold was so tight I cut it rather than try and... The damn thing must have been acting as a bandage because when I took it off... Between the light and the pain, I thought that my head had split open. It took me a long time to stand up. Felt like I could just lie on that cold, disgusting floor forever if I just... But something was poking me. Something tucked into my waistband.
The gun.
A gun. Imagine my surprise. Checked the safety of the chamber reflexively, but only saw 2 spent slugs. I was too tired to be confused, so I just walked out the squeaky door and into red. Just red. And then I was blinking in an IV, handcuffed to a stretcher in an ambulance, some cop reading me my rights, saying that I killed 5 people. No, wait. Some judge or official said that later. When I woke up in the ambulance, all they said was I was a cop killer. Omitting some strong language.
I don't understand. You were held captive, interrogated, tortured. But then you woke up armed and were able to escape.
The cops didn't ask me any questions, and I wouldn't have answered if they had. It's been nearly a full day, and I'm just now saying it aloud for the first time. It truly sounds absurd.
This is your world, Sosuke, not mine. Do you have any theories on what happened?
Only 2 possibilities come to mind. In the first scenario, one or more of my captors wanted to kill me but needed an excuse to do so. So they let me escape. They gave me a knife and an unloaded gun and the way for me to stumble out so they can miss me and be done with it. But the plan doesn't work. Somehow I limp out of that room and shoot, cut, stab, kill them all.
That would be quite the feat, given the condition you say you're in.
Yes, a tale for the ages.
But it's not possible. Why isn't it possible? Even if he had the motive and they were stupid enough to give him the opportunity, he was still lacking... Just be safe. Just be safe. Always gotta be safe. In the brief I read, 2 of the pod were shot to death. I'm sure you're highly qualified, Sosuke, but I doubt you can fire a gun without bullets.
No, I cannot. As I said, the gun I woke up with had already fired both its shots.
So if we tell the police that the gun wasn't loaded, would that clear Sosuke's name for 2 of the murders? There's no proof the gun was already empty by the time he got his hands on it.
She's right. That gun was some kind of jailbroken mag rail. The only residue it would leave behind is static. So long as my prints are on it, that's all the evidence they need to claim I fired it.
How about that second possibility, then?
The second possibility is that someone walked into that building, killed my captors, and then tried to frame me for it.
That...
Sounds like lunacy.
We've already eliminated the other possibility. Insane trumps impossible. Like it or not, this bad Samaritan theory is our best shot. What is it?
I'm just surprised you believe me. You haven't even asked if I did it.
I never ask. It helps that I can usually tell.
A wise policy for the world you're setting foot into. Not as if it makes any difference here. Even I don't know if I'm guilty.
You were drugged and beaten. You're still injured even now. And we just reasoned that you couldn't have killed your captors without help. What makes you think you might still be guilty?
Because I've killed before.
A pale spark flickers at the back of my mind. My index finger rises slightly, my lips part. Was I expecting this, stepping into the criminal underworld? Looking forward to it? The rare opportunity to speak frankly with someone else who's... You mean...
Yes. I was in the military.
Oh, fine.
I've taken lives. Many times.
That doesn't make you a murderer. Soldiers are given orders.
I've killed people. Whether or not a superior asked me to doesn't change that fact.
But soldiers...
Are you...
Sorry. Are you a soldier, Sarah? No? So drop it.
She is good at following orders. It can take years to acquire that skill.
I imagine it comes easily for androids.
Yes, I suppose that's... Wait, that's an android?
Did you miss the glowing barcode? And ignore my self-introduction?
Look, I'm tired. I thought those were highlights or something.
Did my hair catch your eye? You have a discerning taste. You see, each strand is actually... Was there something you wanted to say, Sosuke?
I've taken lives before, and so I know how I feel afterwards. Thin.
And how do you feel right now?
Right now, I feel...
What is it? You remember something?
Yes. After I stepped out that door, I said I saw red. But I do remember one other sensation. I remember the feeling of gripping my sword. That brief you read listed all the charges, all the causes of death. The fifth man, the cop they say I killed. How did he die?
That I want to know that too. Stabbed through the back with a sword, skewered like a piece of goddamn meat. And you've got the balls to ask us to carry him to a hospital? I don't think that's quite how I phrase that request. I've been paying close attention. Would you like me to play back what you said?
Not right now, Sparky. Reyes, she's just doing a job. It's not like she's asking.
Save the lecture, gray hair!
gray. Come on, my hair isn't. It's graying, maybe.
In case I haven't made it clear, I've never liked you, Morgan. Oh, you're breaking my heart. I hadn't noticed. Just hold on, let me. Did I read that right? Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, okay, that is. She interrupted herself. But he never took you for a mob lawyer. Whatever my client's associations may be, he's a cop killer! Innocent until proven guilty isn't a phrase I coined myself, Detective. It's actually somewhat important. Oh, don't worry about that. The proving won't take us long at all. Do you always take pride in rushing your investigations? We've all seen the same intake file by now, yes? Hey, medical records! Sosuke Kadia was apprehended at the scene of the crime, placed in medical transport. Injuries noted at the time, blood from various sources across the anterior front of the body. Numerous bones in left hand broken as if from impacting a hard surface. Slight laceration found on left hand. Internal bleeding throughout the torso and skull. Bruising and rope burns on both wrists as if found. Numerous bruises on the anterior front side of the body. Others blood across the tops of feet and pant legs. Largest wound found on the crown of the skull, back of the head near the top. At the time of booking, numerous additional injuries were noted, including bruised left eye, busted lip, broken nose, boxed left ear, blunt trauma to anterior front right side of head. When or where these additional injuries were sustained is not noted. My client was in bad shape when he was arrested, but his wounds were treated in a medical transport. Yet somehow, in between arriving at the station and his booking, all his wounds were reopened, and some of them had multiplied. Ah, damn. Tell me if you can, great detective. How will we ever solve the mystery of the reappearing fractured skull? Your client was being moved between floors. He struggled trying to escape. And then he fell down the stairs. Really? Was there a lawnmower waiting at the bottom? Look, we're all adults here. So let's just say it. Your co-workers kicked the shit out of him. What do you want me to do about it? I want you to uphold the law. For some reason, I thought you cared about that. A police badge isn't a time machine. By the time we took custody, he was already...
She's right, Tiger. What's done is done. You know you got a snowball's chance in hell of proving your client was assaulted while in police custody. And you'll never get charges brought against the officers who did it. So try asking for something doable.
Don't go giving away all my best tricks. The door in the face tactic is already fragile. I want him to see a doctor. You gotta be shitting me. That's a bloody KW in there with military-grade mods. He's not leaving this building.
But we could have a doctor brought here.
And give him the chance to take a hostage.
He's not the 99 man, Reyes. He can't break his cuffs.
Don't say 99, man. You don't know what it means. You're too old. Oh, that's a new thing. The 99 Man, a hypothetical transhumanist condition of biotechnical superiority. Refers to a theoretical state of being in which a human has replaced as much of their body with cybernetic equivalents as possible. Oh, Atom Smasher! Thereby becoming someone who's 99% machine, yet technically still a human. The term first appeared in the speculative fiction short story by Carved Out of Marble by M.P. Smith, but it rose to prominence after the 2072 Paralympics, when middleweight track and field gold medalist Ayid Safran quoted the story as inspiration after breaking the world record at the time for 800 meters. Since then, the phrase has been popularized as both a meme and a thought experiment, opening up discussions about transhumanism in sports, the business world, education, and beyond. Some social media influencers, as athletes or tech evangelists, have taken the 99 Man as a challenge, modding themselves as much as possible with the explicit goal of approaching what they see as the current limit for transhumanism. Officially, the individual who has the greatest percentage of their body mass replaced with artificial analogs is an anonymous male adult living in the Eastern Hemisphere who is suffering from rare and terminal form of bone cancer, before signing up for an experimental surgery offered through Howard Industries' Theseus initiative. How appropriate. Howe officially describes the patient as currently living a normal and productive life, though Theseus has never produced any consumer market products and has not published any additional research papers in the last 2 years, leading to some to question whether the results are at all replicable. Just oh yeah, let's look about the Nirvana drug. Metahexfenolal is an illegal stimulant sold in black markets as a recreational drug under the street name Nirvana, sometimes shortened to Nerve. When taken as an inhalant, is a euphoriant with mild hallucinogenic properties. In recent months, its growing popularity has led many to suspect the drug is being assessed for legalization by the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight. The process of considering a drug for legalization is kept strictly confidential in order to prevent rampant speculation in the pharmaceutical market. However, the increases in sales of the precursor chemicals for making metahexafenolal seems to indicate the producers are anticipating its legalization nonetheless. The relative obscurity of said precursor chemicals have made the uptake particularly noticeable, and supply has not been able to keep up with this elevated demand. Possession, production of, use of, or trafficking metahexafenol is a crime. Even when a drug is legalized, previous violations of narcotics law are not granted amnesty. Damn. We already have their profiles. How about a medic who can't be taken hostage?
A medical aid.
Sure, great. Let's see if we can't negotiate his premium lower while we're at it. Is that a refusal, Detective Reyes? Oh, I didn't say no, did I? Great. He also needs a protective detail. Lady, I swear to...
Counselor. Protective details are comprised of off-duty cops. I don't think that'll have the outcome you're looking for.
No. But if my client is left unattended one more night, he's likely to be declared unfit to stand trial. When he shows up to court with his head caved in. An outcome I genuinely believe you're not looking for either.
We could keep him here.
What? In the interrogation room? Wait, that was that. God damn it. Oh yeah, that was her sister. Counseling quarter. Counseling quarter.
Table can't be moved, but if you slide the chairs out of the way, the floor is actually not that hard.
How do you even know that?
Given whatever other lodgings he's had in the last 24 hours, I don't think your client will mind.
So Detective Reyes and Detective London take shifts keeping watch. No, we're keeping watch. It is the Homicide Department's counseling quarter. You think I give a shit what happens to that son of a bitch? You think I wouldn't walk in there myself and... You wouldn't. What? It's not in your nature. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You either have it or you don't. Trust me, if I had the chance to take a swing at that son of a bitch! Yes, you already called him that, a piece of shit, a bastard, a killer. But unlike every other cop I walk past to get in here, you've yet to call Sosuke an animal. So what? What the hell does that matter? It's the only thing that matters. I've got the outsider's perspective, so I know. Your average human can do anything to anyone, so long as they're not a person. Whatever. Think what you want, creep.
Well, so long as that's your only request, we should be able to,
I need to get into the crime scene as soon as possible. You've gotta be. What? Like tonight?
She's not rushing more than anyone else, Sunshine. Everyone up the line has been raring to go on this. Now that Sosuke's actually got a lawyer.
Well, maybe if that son of a bitch hadn't clammed up all day, we wouldn't. She said it again. Whatever. Pick then, counselor. You can bully us into guard duty or escort duty, but we can't do both. I need both. You'll have to split up. But I can help with that. Or rather, Sarah can. I can. Of course you can. You can go treat Sosuke. Adonai, I am not trained in... Oh, I love this bit. She's pretending she doesn't remember being registered at my medical ad. Yes, I would never forget that unforgettable experience. But I've never done first aid before. Well, watch a tutorial first. Use lots of sanitizer. Just hand her some bandages and she'll get Sosuke looking good as new in no time. Then you can plop her in front of the door and even 20 crooked cops working together couldn't get her to budge. That much is certainly accurate. I have a strong core, so if I focus and lower my center of gravity. Thanks for the sales pitch, but it doesn't mean shit. The crime scene is in the lower wards. If you think after what happened last night that any cop with a pulse would go down there without their partner.
It's okay, Sunshine. I'll take it down there.
Is everyone else in here huffing Nirvana? London, it's in blue blood territory.
Blue blood territory outskirts. Really?
They lost a whole pod. They'll be swarming the place. You can't go down there without backup.
Backup, huh? You know Mac from Contraband?
Skinny guy. Kind of a perv.
Yeah, he's skinny. Look, he's got crime scene analysis sweeps going over that place with a fine comb right about now. Drones, probes, the works. They'll have eyes on us before we get within 5 minutes of the place.
Whatever. Just keep in contact for once. I hope you're being generously compensated, Eve. Selling your soul to the mob. It'd be a shame if you didn't at least get a good price. Hey, you coming, blinkers? Gotta find out where they store all the med kits in this dusty old pizza. Go on. I'll be right behind you, Detective.
Sorry about that. She's still new to all this, really. Not old like me.
She does seem to be on edge. More so than usual.
It's the first time losing a fellow officer. I think she's taking it pretty hard.
Maybe even personally? Did they know each other?
Huh? Right. Gather up all your things, I'll go bring us up a ride.
Great. Thanks for all the help, Detective. You're a lifesaver. Though this is the one occasion where I wouldn't have had any trouble finding the place. Really didn't take you that long to patch him up, huh? No, we just wait here all night. That clock runs pretty slow. If you're not doing anything else, Detective, might you be interested in answering some questions? Ah, this is when she did the interview. 5:48 p.m., August 14th. Once more into the depths. When I went down to lower wards last night, I knew what I wanted to find, but I wasn't sure where to look. Now I know where to look, but I have multiple priorities to consider. It'd be nice if I can prove Sosuke's innocence. It won't be easy, given that they think he killed a cop. But it'd keep me on the Ikaria's good side. That'd be nice. But what is essential is that I figure out what the hell happened after I left. And whether anyone found any trace that I was ever there. Everything else is second.
Sorry. Guess I should have asked before I decided we'd be sharing a cab.
I don't mind. But I am surprised. Did budget cuts take away your shiny patrol car?
Patrol cars are shared, Counselor. Any cop can step into any other cop's car, sync their credentials, and drive.
Convenient. Shame you can't personalize.
Yeah, no more dice in the mirror.
Is that why we're in a cab, then? Personal taste?
Police cars are full of bugs. Thought you might appreciate the privacy.
Auto cabs are full of bugs, too.
True, but there are ways around them.
Are there? I didn't know that.
Yeah, plenty. Can be easy as flashing a police badge.
Something you wanted to discuss in private, Detective. Ooh. Uh-oh, huh?
I was asked to get into contact with you and pass along a message.
A secret admirer?
Certain interested parties and all that. You know how it is.
I'm not sure I do. Does this have something to do with my client's business affiliations?
There would be a lot more blustering if I were to repeat it verbatim, so I'll paraphrase. Focus on getting the best outcome for your client.
More of a reminder of what my job description is than a warning.
And don't broaden the scope of your investigation any more than strictly necessary.
Well, I always appreciate kind words of advice. But Detective London, that almost makes it sound like you're in on the take.
That's this city, Tiger. If you don't take a little, they'll bury you. Alive, if need be.
Oh, they will. How conspiratorial.
It's not a joke, Morgan.
Do they threaten your wife with Tommy guns if you don't comply?
It's gotten more sophisticated than that. Well, maybe more sophisticated isn't the right word. Complicated might be more accurate. Or you could just call it quagmire. Or even a shitstorm. If you can't get along to go along, even other cops won't trust you. You'll end up shot in the back, friendly fire. A tragic newspaper clipping.
You're exaggerating. You're telling me the entire police force is corrupt.
Corruption would be one thing. You could, in theory, root it out. But above and below the canopy, it's all intertwined. Every tree stabilizing every other tree. What do they call that? Not parasitism?
Commensalism.
There you go. The state pays criminal informants to rat on their peers, lets them keep their positions in exchange. Workers buy judges and politicians to keep their men out of prison. Status quo. Balancing act. A cycle. Stable as any gyroscope.
Forgive me if I find that hard to believe. Crime is at an all-time low.
That's not a contradiction. People hate crime. But what gets people killed is chaos. And the opposite of organized crime is...
So everyone's playing nice with each other. Even Detective Reyes?
She's,
What about the man they think my client killed? Did he play nice?
He was a, special case. You got the brief? You recognize his last name?
It's a big city. I don't put too much stock into last names.
You'll need to break that habit if you continue to work in the underworld.
Sosuke said something similar.
Tariq Chopin, only son of Miguel and Dominic Chopin.
The power couple. Patrol officer likes 24/7 news, calligraphy, late dinners. Dislikes gray hairs, untucked shirts, mint. Education, Bachelor of Science and Applied Philosophy. Awarded Senatorial Commission of Bravery, posthumous. Oh, the city councilman. Oh, that's how the city council thing is going to get involved. Oh, boy. Ooh, oh, wow. So this is going to go pretty high up. The power couple. Why would the son of two of our city's most prominent council members be working as a police officer?
You want the full story?
Always. So who was this Chopin, really?
An idealist.
Wrong line of work, then.
You're only half right. When he entered the academy, everyone assumed it was a political move. First step in his career to becoming a senator, whatever. Maybe it was, but anyone who met that guy could tell you would have made a lousy politician.
You are saying he was honest?
Wouldn't tell a lie if his life depended on it. Guy couldn't do small talk, much less make friends. Talking about cleaning up the city, cleaning up the police, cleaning up everything.
Oh, damn. If he were so unpopular, why was he kept on?
No one on the force wanted to risk insulting his parents by firing him. It's got passed around from department to department, detail to detail. He did a lot of community outreach.
Community outreach? What, like bake sales?
Like giving talks at schools about saying no to drugs until you turn 21.
Woof. Must have really loved his job to put up with that.
Or he just wanted to prove a point that bad.
I remember those things. Freaking DARE program. I think DARE honestly created way more drug users than it stopped. It was so fucking lame. Lower wards. Don't you try to save lower ward patrols for the more seasoned, better armed officers?
We do, yeah. How'd you know that?
By going to the lower wards and looking at the cops you send there, of course. I read about it in Watch magazine last month.
Oh.
If Chopin was the son of such powerful men, why did he end up in the lower wards last night? Oh, wow, Punch. That's incredible. That's a fucking antique.
That... I don't know.
You don't know?
By all accounts, he and his partner should have been at least 2 patrols removed from that area.
Huh. Interesting.
Must have been following up on some other lead.
His partner. Who's that?
The hero who finally arrested the Hound of Icaria. That's who.
I'll have to send him a congratulatory fruit basket. Hello, Mirage. Welcome to the stream.
Huey Rogers. Pretty bare bones record. Maybe that'll just add to his legend.
What legend?
Taking your client alive.
Huh. Sounds like a pretty clear suspect.
Whacked him on the head with his sidearm, knocked him out cold.
Guess it is a small miracle that Sosuke wasn't just shot dead if they thought he killed a cop.
Maybe, but it wasn't pure luck. Only thing that did stick out to me in Rogers' record was his shooting score. 41.
Out of?
100. You need 40 to pass. I think someone took pity on him when tallying up his score.
So we only whacked Sosuke on the head because he was too bad of a shot to avenge his partner. At least Rogers knows his weaknesses. I keep hearing that name. The Hound of Icaria. I cringe every time. No one actually calls him that, right? This Dragon of Dojima shit?
Sorry, but I definitely heard that name circulating around organized crime before.
Must be one hell of a bodyguard to have earned a nickname for it.
He's a bodyguard. Yeah, must be pretty good. Of course, hound dogs are known for other things besides guarding. Sorry, that was crude.
Oh, don't be sorry. I don't even get enough of the joke to be offended. Okay, that'll make us some interesting food for thought. But, Detective London, if you are working for the Blue Bloods...
I never said I work for the Blue Bloods. It's more of a gig worker type thing, Tiger. I'm friends with everybody.
If you are working for the mob in general, then... how do I know you're even taking me to the right place and not to?
Whoa, whoa. I may pass a message along here and there, but I'm not... Damn. Hell, no one else is either. Whatever you're imagining, it's not that exciting, I promise.
Not that exciting. Sounds about right. Is it like this in every city? Handshakes and gentlemen's agreements behind closed doors?
You disillusioned?
The state has a great deal of power, Detective London. It makes countless rules. Now, I'm a big girl. I know that those rules don't apply to people equally. I understand the value of criminal informants and the possible conflicts of interest that arise in trying to keep them around. What I don't get is why the state has all this strength, and it won't use it to just wipe the underworld off the map.
That's pretty cold logic.
I'd expect my state to be far colder.
Hey, you ever heard this one? A politician, a CEO, and a mob boss sitting at a round table with a gun in the middle. Who are you betting on?
A CEO looks at a loaded gun and sees the bullets in the clip as inventory that needs moving. Plus, they're used to taking a job and setting up their golden parachute before anything else. I doubt they'd walk into that room without first planning how they're getting out of it.
Fair enough. CEOs only get the job in the first place by convincing their board they can navigate high stakes. But it's a trick question, of course. Rock, paper, scissors has no trump card. The politician can bring the heavy arm of the law down on the mob boss if he doesn't shoot the CEO for him. The mob boss can have the CEO's family killed if he doesn't blow away the politician first. And the CEO can turbocharge the campaign, whoever the politician's opponent is, even if he refuses to miss the mob boss.
Yes, seems like you could make the argument to go in the other direction, too.
You could. This is the point the riddle's meant to teach, is this.
Yeah, yeah. I really do love about that Hall Mirage. It's like, it's a dystopia for sure, but they've solved a lot of the problems that we have, and they have new ones. But like, the silver lining, is really interesting. It's like really solid world building, I think, for sure. Hollow Mirage.
Whoever convinces someone else to pull the trigger comes out on top.
Funny. So in the parable you've set up, the gun on the table, that's the police. A blameless tool with no will of its own.
Yeah. Those older men than I who set it up.
Didn't realize this country's police were so powerless. However do you manage?
We used to have a partner that helped us out. A tiebreaker. Because all three of those powerful men would be screwed if a journalist told the world they were meeting together.
I've got good news for you, Detective. Journalists still exist. I could introduce you to one. You could even take a photograph.
Oh, I know they're not extinct. People are always right. It's just that no one wants to pay them to. Sorry. Didn't mean to talk so much. Maybe it's nerves coming back down here.
What happened the last time he visited?
Something up? Didn't put you to sleep, did I?
No. Actually, your 3C table reminded me of an even older thought experiment. If God is omnipotent, why does he allow the existence of the devil?
Even I know that one. To preserve free will or whatever, right?
Yes, that's the answer most people give. But now I'm wondering if it isn't just a rock, paper, scissors deadlock like the one you just described. God lets the devil be so he'll terrify man, and man will always need God's warm protection.
And God needs man's faith, which can't be compelled. Of course, most people would also say that God's long dead in the 21st century. But we're still around. So that leaves the devil in an awfully strong position, doesn't it?
You always picture 3 men in that room, don't you?
Huh? Yeah. I guess I do. Sorry.
Do 55 feminist rosaries for your penance. 6:01 p.m. August 14th. Lower wards. Detective London. We're definitely not alone down here. But when you reassured your partner that we'd have company, I didn't think you were including blue bloods.
You know, I knew I'd forgotten to mention.
Oh, who is she? What? Well, then she's a liar, babe. 'Cause I never said that. No, I never said that. Oh, come on, babe. That's what she's like. She lies for fun. That's what I call you, babe. It's a pet name. You like it. Oh, don't hang up. Don't hang up, baby. Don't hang up. Of course I do.
We gotta get to work, hon.
I'll have to call you back, babe. Something just came up. London, what is this? London, who is this?
Councillor Morgan, this is Adelaide Hahn. She's, well, she's a blue blood.
Hey, I'm a perfectly legitimate career woman. You're speaking to a security site manager. If you need anything, miss, please don't hesitate to reach out. Hans Cart, Adelaide Hahn, site manager. Listing her as site manager, sign of security. A known front for the Blue Bloods criminal organization. There's a personal contact number on top of her work details for some reason. I already have the favors author Alexander Dumas. Non-work related messages will be blocked. Just likes the opera, wasabi, and insects. Likes whetstones, paperbacks, matcha. Hello, 744. Welcome to the stream. Well, thank you. Like sneakers, volcanoes, Paralympics. Just like scalpers, hoarders, anise. For TV, civil engineering documentaries. Shampoo. Dunno. Conditioner is more important. Undefeated at volleyball. I think the profiles change every chapter, right? Likes duct tape, mascara, oak. Just likes parking lots, ties, honeydew. The best of finding new restaurants. Accommodations non-displayed at his workstation. Wardrobe more extensive than it looks. If you need any of the miss, please don't hesitate to reach out. A real business card. It even has a watermark. I'm not familiar with Cyanas. We're a private security investigating firm. We provide bouncers, armed escorts. We catch cheating partners, find runaway debtors, run paternity tests, that sort of stuff. Sorry, but have we met somewhere? No, it can't be. I'd never forget a beauty like you.
She's the Hunt lawyer, hon.
Seriously? She works for those copperhead scumbags. So we're mortal enemies? That sucks. Not alive then, eh? I'll still play nice if you will. Right. So you're private security, and you're currently securing this crime scene. Yeah? What's with the tone? What you're hearing is genuine bewilderment. London, why are the police letting blue bloods contaminate the crime scene where a cop died? Come on. We don't have cooties.
If this wasn't the location where a cop died, we'd have already turned full control over to them.
What?
Police contract out to security around crime scenes to private companies all the time. And around here, the private company best suited for the job happened to be Cyanis. Letting them conduct their own side investigations is a small concession to keep the peace.
A small concession. They're probably in there destroying evidence as we speak.
We have the arcs to preserve the crime scene. They could burn the building down and we'd still have a pristine copy.
London Bridges is trying to save face. The police couldn't keep this crime scene off limits without our help, and he knows it. Gremlins would be smashing their shiny cameras and popping their expensive ties around the clock if we weren't here. Let's check her profile. Likes new furniture, silk clothes, dimples. Just likes clingy types, jealous types, needles. Plays pickup games. Avoids laundry day. Least favorite chore, throwing out dead flowers. Ah. Oh, whoa, it's kids take down drones by tossing shoes at them for fun. Is that why you see shoes hanging off wires? No, I don't know why that happens. I like seriously, like I have no idea what's up with that. Like there was something like that near my elementary school when I was a kid, and I forever wondered how the fuck that got up there and like why and like what that was for.
It's just a thing teens have always done for fun.
Mystery solved? Fine. Maybe the cops and the blue bloods are all consummate professionals who never even bicker. But what kind of impartiality can I expect coming here to Vendicaria? Well, you might get some ugly looks from those with less chivalry. No one's gonna get in your way. We know how defense attorneys operate. We know damn well how you usually win. No one's gonna do anything to let you worm the hound out of his life sentence on technicality. You sure you wouldn't prefer that? To have him back out on the street so you can take another shot at him? Oh, so flattery, that's how you flirt? What does that mean? You think we'd ever manage to gun down the hound of a car in the street? Shank him in a holding cell? Blue Bloods took him alive just fine the other day, didn't they? Yeah, and look what happened to him afterwards. So you won't tamper with the crime scene just because you want to make sure the state lobotomizes Sosuke for pentable homicide? Yeah. I mean, we also literally get paid good money to do these kind of jobs, so we have a reputation to maintain. Rate us 5 stars when you're done looking around, okay? I'll be sure to leave a glowing review. So this is the main entrance. Front door looks about as heavy as I remember, but it's unlocked.
What's there?
How was this door found?
Chopin and Rogers were the first officers on the scene, responding to gunfire.
Someone heard that. Good thing I cleaned up fast.
Check the area, then enter through the front door.
The door was definitely locked when I arrived, but I didn't lock it behind me when I left. I didn't have any keys. Admiring our handiwork, this is Cyanus insulation. Who else would Blue Bloods trust to secure Blue Blood buildings? How does it lock? Never used a key before? Seriously? I want to know how the lock functions. Does it lock behind you automatically? That's a good question. You looking to buy? 'Cause I could set you up.
It is a good question, hon. Why don't you answer it?
Yeah, this model locks behind you by default. Need a key to get in if someone doesn't unlock it for you from the inside. A physical key. Physical keys can't be hacked or overridden by a police badge. Some people consider those useful features. Is that where the door's ajar? It looks like the lock's been destroyed. Was it found like this?
Yeah, for as long as the ox has been up. Definitely was unlocked when me and Reyes arrived, which is around 10:20 p.m.
Hello, twat. Welcome to the stream. Hang on. You and Reyes. What, were you the second officers on scene?
That's right. We weren't far when the 10999 went out at 10:15.
Physical lock and key designed to automatically lock behind you. Trey definitely had to unlock it to let me inside. Didn't think to see if it had locked behind me after I left. $10,999. Oh, Officer Dan, I see. Emergency response utilized municipal systems around the nation, most frequently to signify that one or more first responders' lives are in danger. Most police department standard issue suite of monitors allow for this code to be sounded across emergency networks automatically when cardiac activity is disrupted or blood pressure changes rapidly. Due to the non-negligible chance that moderate exercise could be misinterpreted by biomonitors, leading to false alarms, some departments make it a policy to avoid enabling the automatic alert function. Just reading again about the Blue Bloods. The International Criminal Organization, most commonly known as the Blue Bloods, originated in the early 21st century as an offshoot of Eastern Hemisphere triads that subsumed various dock workers' unions. Loosening international corporate regulations and decreasing job opportunities at the time made it difficult for traditional unions to gather and maintain bargaining power. Simultaneously, many triads struggled as increasing nationalism around the globe, combined with improvements and border security, made the profit margins for smuggling smaller and smaller, even as demand for foreign goods went increasingly unmet. Historians and criminologists debate on the exact origin of the Blue Bloods, and even among ex-members there remains debate about which side approached which or when the Blue Bloods became a distinct identity. What is agreed upon is that by the mid-21st century, the Blue Bloods were a significant presence in every major trade port around the world, smuggling goods across borders and extorting multinational corporations by threatening to withhold or destroy merchandise as they entered the country. Domestically, the Blue Bloods seem to have given serious consideration towards legitimizing their activities for a time, acquiring legal charters of business for many of their shipping and security operations during the 2050s. The same time period also saw a cooling of hostilities between the Blue Bloods and many of their rivals, with gang-related violence dropping precipitously. Civil disruptions and suspected changes in leadership during the 60s, however, reversed this trend. While the Blue Bloods remain a major player on the global criminal trafficking market, their status of criminal concern was officially downgraded to moderate by the state during the 2070s. Most criminologists agree that their national presence is now relatively weak, and has remained so for long enough that the organization's broader global leadership is likely uninterested in expending the resources it would take to change the status quo. Long way from Precinct 254, isn't it?
We were in the area.
Why were all these people in areas they weren't supposed to be? Huh. Awkward. You want the tour then? Actually, I'd like to check out the alley first. I know exactly who Han was inspired by. That's really cool. She is very similar to Sun Hee from Yakuza.
You know, the crime scene's on the 3rd floor, right?
Yes, but there's a window that opens to the alley, doesn't it? I just prefer to start from the bottom and work my way up sometimes. Sure, we can start there. Just be careful where you step if you like those boots at all. A data pad here, of all places. This fire escape would lead right up to the crime scene. Assuming it doesn't come crushing down once you step on it.
It's missing the ladder that will connect it to street level. You're violating fire code with this tetanus trap on.
Building inspection's not my department. Besides, you want to climb up into a burning building.
Firefighters.
You're funny, Bridges. Even a copper firefighter wouldn't risk getting singed to save the lower ward's property from burning down. And I could probably make the jump up there.
That's heavy. If an android leaped onto that, the whole mess would probably come down on top of him.
Fire escape connected to the room where the crime took place. Rusty and poorly maintained, missing the ladder, only freely moved back and forth between the third floor room and where the bodies were in the second floor room beneath it. Copper, a derogatory word for automated dependence, particularly ones licensed by or operating under the authority of the state. Interested parties in the automated dependent industries have on more than one occasion lobbied for copper and other terms like it, clanker, chrome dome, microchip breath, to be classified as hate speech, arguing that anti-mechanical sentiment constitutes an expression of prejudice, or considered a form of hate speech. Incidents of destruction of corporate property or such terms were used in prior communications will qualify for additional severity and higher fines paid towards the damaged party. Under all but the most radical interpretations of hate speech, however, prejudice can only be directed towards sentient living things, people, animals, or corporations. Yeah, I remember reading that one. Like, jeez. My God. Santa Security, trusted partner in your business ventures, offering a suite of private security services, including but not limited to bodyguards, convoys, bouncers, private investigators, paternity tests, family history research, and shipping insurance. Answer a few questions about your needs in our portal below, and we'll get you set up with the peace of mind you've been searching for. Your browser may prompt you with a security pop-up when interacting with some of the features of our site. You can safely disregard these messages. They are related to a legal matter that's already been settled out of court. We apologize for disrupting your site experience. Ready to get started? Yeah, modders have it too. Oh, yes, modders have it too. Hey! Looks like the only way into the building is through the front door, then. It was much darker last night than it is now, and I only took a quick peek. But even so, this...
Looks like it's been moved, huh?
Yes. Was the trash picked up last night, perhaps?
Checking the model number on the side. Looks like dumpsters this make haven't been picked up by the city in a decade.
Damn. I didn't realize there was a DRM on trash cans.
Hey, it's a heavy model. Tough to lift, even if its wheels weren't broken. Designed for containing industrial waste? How it ends up here in a residential district is,
Isn't that hard to puzzle out, is it? It was cheap for the Megs to dump their shit on us, and it was a haul it to a landfill. Is that why I could see markings on the ground there? From leaks? Oh, you really are a tourist, aren't you? I've been in the lower wards before. But only at night, right? Rain's dirty down here. Stains the ground wherever it falls. I said rain. Like from the history books.
not quite that bad. The smog combined with the precipitation combined with the charms of the city to make
Dirty rain, like I said. Lower Ward spring water. There's a shot named after it. Tequila and pickle juice. Ugh. So was the dumpster empty?
Let's see.
Hey, grab a glove if you're gonna...
Yeah, it's mostly empty except for a bunch of scrap metal at the bottom. Explains why I can't get it to budge.
Careful. You get your toe trapped under there, don't look at me to help just 'cause I'm modded. Oh, you're saying you couldn't budge it either? I could if a girl was cheering me on. Okay, London, thanks. Don't know what I was expecting to find, really. Now just watch it so you don't. Let the lid slam.
Sorry.
One problem with Blue Bloods and cops running security. I don't know who to blame for leaving their shit here. I'll give the moral high ground to whichever part of society learns to pick up after themselves first. Bombing rolled out in university fire. Panic abounded last week on campus when the computer labs at North Technica University were set ablaze in the early hours of the morning. Students and faculty skirted the campus in anxious, hunched postures as federal agents descended on the lab's vicinity, searching for signs that could point to a culprit. But as of today, the fire has officially been ruled an accident and successfully traced back to a cooling system failure. In the basement's main server hub, a freak accident has provided simultaneous relief and confusion to the community. When the fire was first reported on, many were quick to point out that its similarities to other fires and bombings recently reported as sweeping eastward across the nations. Dubbed some members of the press's work of the Witch of the West, each incident appears to have targeted its data infrastructure. Oh, damn! Woo! Hitting state, corporate, and academic nerve centers and leaving behind significant financial grief in the aftermath. Hundreds of thousands of files related to student debt, all of it non-recoverable. Oh no! Oh no! Perish the thought. Send one anonymous campus security specialist after their university student registry records went up in literal smoke. We're reaching out to alumni as quickly as we can to try and piece their records back together. But frankly, a lot of them have been less than eager to speak with us, and we have no choice but to re-examine payment plans from our current students' tuition. Federal investigative officials have no formal comments at this time. But some local law enforcement officers have described seeing federal agents frustrated with the so-called witch. Criticism of the response have begun to surface from the political realm, with Senator Colt now formally calling for the Director of Investigations to testify as to the progress or lack thereof in the search for the serial arsonist. Another notable... I feel like I've heard stories about bombings out west the last few months. But I didn't know they've all been attributed to one person. Or that they're now calling them the Witch of the West. There's no mention of victims, only data centers being targeted. But clearly this witch is hitting someone where it hurts if they've now got... What really stands out here is that federal investigators are getting involved. Most national security agencies were absorbed in the military police complex decades ago. That bureau survived, but it's a mere fraction of the size it used to be, and very different in its function. Their modern reputation is that of attack dogs, deployed by the Senate to make examples of political targets. I can't say I like the idea of them being out there hunting for serial offenders. Alright, I'm done back here. So I think I've seen everything. That's right. I was standing here last night when... Yeah, the little girl who saw her. It was dark and foggy. The kid was too far off to make out my face. Weren't they?
What is it, Tiger?
Nothing. Thought I saw someone out of the corner of my eye. That's all.
Yeah. Around here, maybe it was an unlisted.
What do you... Those are real?
Keep to themselves, obviously, but yeah, they're real. I've met some. They inform sometimes on what they've seen. Never come in to testify, of course. You think they'd stand out dressing like that, but if their camouflage didn't work, they wouldn't be unlisted, right?
What do you mean they keep to themselves? Don't they work with any of the gangs down here?
Sorry. Have you gotten your hopes up or something? Trust me, you got a better chance of winning the lottery than running into one.
Right. I forget I asked. The dumpster. Yeah. The lid makes an unpleasant sound. Yeah. Unlisted is an informal designation given to individuals, often missing persons or unhoused, who are not being tracked in any government database. For much of the 21st century, individuals of this description were most often undocumented immigrants. Following shifts in immigration patterns and the implementation of the Military Service Citizenship Program, aka the Minuteman Bill, undocumented immigration has sharply declined. Damn. While many non-citizens do live and work within the country, they are tracked through immigration monitoring and services or as part of their military service agreement until they either leave the country or are fully naturalized at the end of their service. Today, unlisted mostly refers to small groups of seasonal workers who travel the country in migrating caravans to find work undercutting corporate contracts on various agricultural or fungal installations. Some anthropological studies have described groups of enlisted living in urban, generally poor areas as what effectively are homeless communities. Unlike most homeless people, the overwhelming majority of whom are unhoused for less than 2 weeks. These unlisted actively refuse state housing assistance or assistance of any kind. Huh. Concerns about malnourishment, illiteracy, extreme poverty, and rampant mental illness within enlisted populations has at times spurred outreach programs that attempt to contact them, but by their very nature as enlisted, actual data on their quality of life or cultural practices is virtually non-existent, making most politicians hesitant to commit resources towards these causes. Are you ready to go inside?
I think so, so long as,
No, I'm not with anyone else, just me here. 'Cause she's so shrill, princess. And delusional, you know that? I'm sure she'll catch up. So you were saying this used to be an apartment building?
somewhere between that and a long-stay motel, yeah. Blue Bloods didn't deviate far from that model when they took over. They always call rooms like these vaults. Place to stash away a lover, witness, debtor when there's too much heat.
You've gone through all these vaults, I take it?
Cyanus helped us with that last night. Yeah, bringing around master keys, clearing out every possible hiding place.
Didn't find a red-handed killer hiding anywhere, did you?
Sorry, no.
So this is the Blue Bloods' forte, then? Securing people, places, and things?
You could think of it that way.
Guess I always assumed gangs made their money through drugs.
Well, the Blue Bloods do deal here and there. But narcotics has been a rich man's game ever since the CDCA rolled in. If the funds to ride the gray wave the way the House Yakuza does, it could make a killing. They got the market cornered from black to gray to white to pure green profit. The Blue Bloods hate that they have to make do with all the scraps the Megs in the house don't bother producing en masse.
Professional jealousy. How ugly. Why can't these underworld overlords just bury the hatchet? Get together and screw over the consumer like reasonable people do.
They've tried, if you do believe the rumors. But a year ago now, there was some kind of meeting. An olive branch from the golds to the blues. Apparently, the Blue Bloods had a product the Yakuza wanted to distribute.
The Yakuza sell legal drugs now, though. And what kind of product could the Blue Bloods of the Yakuza couldn't manufacture?
Not sure. Maybe that's why it went south so fast. Blood was spilled in less than an hour. The Yakuza aren't the type to keep negotiating after being spat on like that.
And so the Blue Bloods remain firmly planted in their lower wards niche.
They may not like having to take the low end, but they are filling a gap in the market. And that's every proper capitalist calling, right? So the workers certainly appreciate the protection down here.
Workers hire Blue Bloods for protection, but that's... all that stuff is legal so long as they're licensed, isn't it?
Legal, yes. Respectable? Most will still say no. So household name security makes consider it too high risk to be seen in the company of workers.
Worker is shortened from the term sex worker. I see. Generally used to refer to individuals who are legally licensed as such, opposed to those who are engaging in sex work outside of legal guidelines. Sex workers operating in high-end establishments, generally in specified zone municipal districts with high median property prices, cloud districts, and catering only to specific clientele, may be more commonly referred to as courtesans.
Doesn't help that their average board member is easily pushing 60.
You aren't that far from pushing 60 yourself, are you?
Matter of opinion. Besides, I'm a very modern, forward-thinking man.
Did you finish those 50 rosaries already?
Ugh.
Right. And the Yakuza, they don't, compete in that market?
No. People at the Acadia sites might patronize a courtesan or two in the cloud districts, but they never lower themselves to work alongside one. Hypocrites.
That much I understand perfectly. The hypocrisy is the appeal for them. The rules don't apply to me. You couldn't ask for a more pure expression of power.
Damn. Worse than I remember. Like a demon tore through the place. Seriously. What the hell happened here?
That's what we all get paid to find out, right?
Yeah.
I've definitely got a head start on the rest of you, though. Shall we bring up the orcs?
Sure, I'll patch you in.
Allow me. If you're needed on the phone, Miss Hahn, please don't let me keep you here. Nonsense. I got all the time in the world for you. Goodness, everyone's treating me like royalty today. Arcs, user portal. Let's go. All right, you guys. I think this is a good place to stop. We'll continue our investigation of the actual crime scene next time. Really interesting. They're putting so much into the world building. It just keeps making me want to play Cyberpunk again. Oh, man. Thank you all so much for joining me this time. Yeah, like, super duper fascinating. I'll see y'all again on Tuesday. And of course, more of the Tokyo Xanadu tomorrow. So until then, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts.